Good morning, Reza, Werner, Gloria, my cluster colleagues from Cluster Excellence Training Program, dear guests. Thank you very much for attending our Cluster Up morning session and choosing us in this morning. I'm sure you haven't regretted so far, and I'm sure you won't regret it till the end, because we have a lot to tell and share with you. As I suppose Werner has already introduced me, my name is Genoveva Kristova, and I'm the manager of the Bulgarian Furniture Cluster and being in Cluster World since 2005. So now to the three famous questions the previous three speakers already answered. I'll try to do and to present my comments about them. So the first question is what has been done in the past about clusters in your country. Being a candidate member country since 1999, during the years 2001-2004, has been done a lot of support via the FARE and GTZ program. During these years, there was a cluster mapping work, the industry concentration, where the four main industry has been outlined in our territory. They've been developed good action plans, but this was it. So there was a lack of any continuation and any support further. So all the good activities stopped till 2004. Afterwards, in the years 2005-2006, during the first implementation of the first FARE project, except these four industries outlined previously, there have been plenty of cluster initiatives and sporadic cluster initiatives on the whole territory. There were more than 100 clusters trying to obtain the cluster grants available in our country at this time. There were only two clusters selected in this time, and there was the furniture cluster in Trojan area and the tourism in Smolen. And since then, I was involved in the cluster development and cluster work in Bulgaria. There was also a national cluster strategy developed, but not implemented. Why? Because the cluster grant scheme just finished. In the year 2007, when the Republic of Bulgaria joined the European Union and we became a member state country, there was the second FARE program available for cluster support and development. During this period, there were only 10 clusters established and supported due to the lack of enough promotion and awareness from the previous time, and all those 100 cluster initiatives just collapsed. At the end of 2008, when the FARE second finished and the program stopped financing all those clusters in Bulgaria, the main cluster leaders, clusterpreneurs in Bulgaria from those 10 clusters, they decided to establish the Association of Business Clusters in order to fill the lack of sustainable approach, the lack of capacity from the state institutions, and to continue promoting the cluster policy and to develop clusters in Bulgaria. So generally, in all these years, I just presented to you, when there was a financial support, there was interest of cluster development and cluster work, and no financial support and no interest of developing clusters. So that's why we from the Association of Business Clusters are really trying to present what are the real meaning of clusters and what are the real benefits for our country, for the industry, to clusterize and to develop clusters in order really to benefit and to have some real profits out of it, and not just to access and to use the financial support from the European Union. Second question, what has happened during the Cluster Excellence Program and how it has changed the way of work and the way of our thinking? Well, I can say that there's been done a lot, and we've been quite surprised, I can use the word shocked, by the way we started, because as always when you enter in such training, you expect just to sit in a room and listen to the professors and just make some notes and then to go back and this is it. But it's been quite challenging work, really interesting, very provocative, which really move our mind or make our brain working and no wonder there are many results and to report back, and we're quite happy to share all this with you. Why? Because that really matters. Or when the training is done properly, is designed properly and implemented properly, of course we have results and we have ambitions to go more. Or when you have a really ambitious tutors and professors who are trying to give their best to you and to try to provoke you, you respond properly. So all this has been obtained in the Cluster Excellence Training Program, and personally I'm quite happy to be part of it. So the Bulgarian team, there was me and also my other colleagues, two other colleagues from my team, which are from the Ministry of Economy and Energy in Bulgaria. That's Vlogi and Tihomira. They are not with me at the moment, but of course they send their best regards to you. So what really we worked and what we achieved there. So we chose the furniture industry, maybe it's not surprising, and not just the furniture industry, but the contract furniture industry in Bulgaria. We outlined the cluster vocation, we did a mapping, we did the industry concentration, etc. So what we have really achieved is that we really developed the trust, or we build the trust amongst our companies, amongst our SMEs and all participants in our sessions. Because they saw that when we promise something, we deliver, and we analyze, and then we deliver, and we're trying to help them, and not just letting them listen to us, and that's it. We tried to be very provocative, to be very interactive, following, of course, the instructions and guidance from our tutors. And we really change their mind or change their understanding of being in a training and being part of our field project. I was quite delighted to see that in fact our findings helped the furniture cluster to implement the first pilot project, which is a real remanufacturing of real rooms and real furniture in a real hotel. And it's one hotel in Sofia. So we take some furniture from the room, we did it, and you can see all the pictures now, what was before, and so the old furniture and what happened after, so the new furniture. And now the furniture cluster got a real order for remanufacturing 20 of these rooms. So of course we have our now action-wise of what to follow, and this is coming to the third question, or what's next. What to follow, of course, is the marketing and internationalization of this new strategic segment we are going to, or remanufacturing. So we have our pilot, now we are making the real order. Companies are very excited. We get connected to the British Institute for Remanufacturing and Recycling. We are developing a joint project together within the Eco-Innovation program in the European Union. So we really did much more than everybody even thought or dreamed about it when we started. And this makes three of us quite proud of what we achieved and very grateful. And of course more ambitious to go further and to develop more and more profitable, tangible results to the cluster. But of course now it's up to them and to the SMEs to follow this line. Concerning our recommendations to the policymakers, to the cluster policymakers in Europe, we have few things really to say, among which, first of all, is to have a more targeted and systematic approach towards cluster development in Europe, or more synergy with other programs and other donor projects towards clusters. Secondly, as we were the pilot trainees in the Cluster Excellence program, we strongly promoted it, and we want to continue to further develop it, to enrich it, in order to reach as many cluster policymakers and cluster people in Europe as possible. Because really it's a very good program which really could help you a lot, and I present you a part of our successful story. Can I say successful in Bulgaria? Next one, further development and accreditation of recognition of real clusters. In other words, we need to have a system, and of course now the benchmark and accreditation is part of it, in order to recognize who are the real and who are the fake clusters, who are just established for the cluster money. And last but not least, development of a clusterpreneurship. Not just entrepreneurship, but clusterpreneurship, which from my personal opinion is one level more. Because back to the main question of our cluster lab this morning, which is cluster management, a craft or a profession, I could say it is a talent, but must become a profession in order to develop a successful cluster managers in Europe and cluster excellence. And at the end, from Bulgaria, there is a little present and anagram about the main qualities which every cluster manager needs to have in order to be successful. And they are formed from the word cluster, of course. And here they are: charisma, leadership, united, strong, talented, enterprising, resilience. I hope you like all this and you agree with us. And I believe that the next cluster training program will develop all these qualities and even more in order to have many more cluster managers in Europe for more and more successful European clusters. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a successful morning session and a great TCI event 2013.